Hi, I'm Alvina Ling,
And I'm Grace Lynn.
and we're book friends.
Forever!
We're childhood friends,
Who grew up to be
a children's book editor.
and an author and illustrator.
Welcome to Book Friends Forever. This is the Freaky Friday episode.
And check out our website, bookfriendsforever.com, and our Instagram handle at bookfriendsforever_podcast. Alvina, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. The weather has been nice. I mean, it's got cold again in New York, but we had one on Saturday. It was gorgeous. It was a little bit
Mm.
warmer, like in the 50s, maybe lower 60s, and it was sunny. And I went on two walks. I met up with some friends in the park. It was lovely. And I've
That's
been running
nice.
again, so that's been good. I forgot that I have a half marathon at the end of April, so I need to start actually when you're going to be in town. So I have to start training for that. And then Stephen and I decided to see a movie in the movie theater. I think when you were away, we talked about the Oscars and we talked about how we had only seen one movie in the movie theaters last year, which was Sinners. Although I forgot, we also saw Wicked 2 with my family in California. But I used to love going to the movies, and I feel like we get lazy and just watch everything at home, but I really like the theater experience. So we saw Project Hail Mary, which
Oh,
has
I've heard
been,
really good things about that.
yes, so enjoyable. I read and loved the book, I think last summer, I thought it was pretty faithful to the book. It's a little long. It's 2.5 hours long. I feel
Oh,
like
wow.
it did feel long too, I will say, even though it was very entertaining the whole way through, though.
Did you watch The Martian?
I watched the Martian. I love The Martian too. It's similar in tone. It's like 'cause
Yeah,
it's
because the
very
same
funny.
author.
Yeah, it's a very funny movie. But I also cried, and there's a lot of science in it. I think similar to The Martian,
Hmm.
which sometimes I kind of glad. I mean, I'm glad that I had the background of the book,
Hmm.
watching it for that part. Although, I mean. I don't want to give spoilers, but there were these two women sitting next to me that obviously had not read the book because they were like so tense during some parts where I was like, I know what happens. And they like
I like
gasped.
that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I like is knowing what happens. That's why I like to know the ends of books.
Yes. Well, I'm happy to tell you the end of, but I actually had forgotten the very end, and as it was going, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how it ended. So I was a little surprised, even though I had read the book. But I definitely recommend it. It was really fun, and I do think Ryan Gosling could be nominated for an Oscar for that role because he basically carried the whole film, and he was really
Yeah.
great. He was really great. So,
And there's a whole meme about his sweater that I want. It's
oh,
like it's like this sweater with like foxes on it. I'm
oh
like, I want
yeah,
that sweater.
yeah. But yeah, so that was great. Anyway, how have you been?
Good. You could tell my voice is still a little raw, but I'm
It's
getting
better
over
though.
the cough, so that's good.
Mhm.
And I'm still getting over jet lag. You'd think it would be over by now, but no. Like every day at around 8 p.m., I'm like out. I'm like, oh,
I
I'm
mean, that's
so
an
tired.
acceptable time to go to bed.
Yes.
I
Well,
go to
usually
bed
what
sometimes at 8.
well, what usually what happens is about 6 o'clock. I'm like my eyes are like all tired. I'm like, no, no, I must keep awake. And then around 7, I'm like almost asleep. And then at 8, I'm like, okay, I'm letting myself go to sleep. So like,
I realized that when we talked about the trip, I forgot to ask you about jet lag, or I don't know if you talked about jet lag, but I know that when we went for a walk, you were talking about an app that you were using.
yeah, I'm using this, and I think it actually is working pretty well. Even I use this app called um, Time Shift, and um, and honestly, I think even though at 8 p.m. I'm still like asleep, it is nighttime at least versus like really in Taiwan and China, it's like 8 in the morning. So like I think the Time Shift app was good in getting me back onto like the correct nighttime, daytime schedule. So like I'm definitely awake during the day and I'm definitely sleeping at night here. And I think that happened fairly quickly. And I think it's because of the time shift app that I used.
Hmm.
But getting back to like uh going to bed later than 8, like like more adults do, that hasn't quite happened yet.
What
But
time are you waking up in the mornings?
I'm waking up at like 4 in the morning. So
Okay. So if you could just shift it like 1 hour, like
yeah, I just need to
nine
shift it
to
like
five.
1 hour. That's usually how, and that's similar to how I used to be, was like, so I need to shift it an hour. But what's interesting is that even when I was sleeping 9 to 5 before or whatever, I wasn't like exhausted at
Yeah.
like 8 o'clock. Like I'm exhausted at 7 o'clock and like I need to go to sleep. So, hopefully that,
Baby steps.
yeah,
Maybe do like
changes.
15 minutes
Yeah.
every day. Extend
Yeah,
it.
so but I do suggest this this time shifter app. I think it was
Okay.
really
Maybe
good.
I'll use it when I go to Spain
Yeah,
next
and
month.
because what's really good is like you put in your exact flights and then it gives you, so they t told me how to time shift like 3 days before I left, so like stay up late, go to bed at midnight, and like and make sure you go outside for sun today, thing like, so I think it was very useful. So but it could also just be the placebo effect too, who knows.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
know what, if the placebo effect works, go
It's
with it.
works. Yeah. Why not?
Yes. So, yes, so I'm getting over jet lag. I'm really happy that I got back from Taiwan when I did, because now the airports are a mess. They're like, there's this whole thing going on where TSA agents have not been paid. And so the wait lines are out the door. And unfortunately, one of the airports really affected is Atlanta Airport. And that's actually where I'm flying to and from next week for school visits. So I am crossing my fingers that this airport madness is figured out before then, before I have to go. I mean, we've got a couple days. I don't know. I mean, when I flew out to Hong Kong, uh, global entry was not being was there was that mess with global entry, and they were not having global entry anymore. But by the time I came back, global entry was reinstated and everything was fine. So I'm like, come on, luck, do it again. By the time I fly out
Yeah.
from
Do you need
Atlanta,
TSA pre-check?
yes, so TSA pre-checked, but it's
Yeah.
still I have TSA pre-check and stuff, but
Yeah, but it wasn't. They weren't. Yeah, because global entry is only when you come back
yeah,
into the country. I
yeah.
know.
So
Well, I'm worried because actually, we are also flying to Atlanta next
oh yeah.
week on the 1st. I think that's right after you.
I think
Or
right
are
after I
you
get back.
there? Because we're going to fly from there to Spain
Oh,
with our
fun.
friends. So I guess by the time this episode drops, we will be maybe in the air or already in Spain. I
Oh,
don't
so
know.
wait, how long are you gone for again?
Um, we're basically gone. Yeah, we'll have to talk about the podcast. So,
I know.
but we're leaving on the 1st, on
Uh-huh.
April 1st, and coming back on the 11th.
Oh, I'm coming back here. Wait, no, I'm coming back here on the second. So we might
Okay,
be like
we're overlapping a little bit. Yeah,
overlap.
we get in the night of the 1st, and then we leave for Spain the night of the 2nd, I think.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
how long? So we'll have to,
and then we're
how
in
long are you
Spain
gonna?
until yeah, till the following Sunday.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to find a substitute. Yeah, the one thing I ha did do, despite having jet lag, is that I had a dance rehearsal with Alex
Yay!
because I am doing the local Dancing with the Stars event on April
Yay!
17th. It's a fundraising event for Cutchin's programs for kid and teen mental health. And part of this thing is, I guess, local stars like
Like you.
do a dance, and I guess they were really desperate because they had me as one of the local stars doing the dance.
Who are the other local stars? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I know Jarrett. So the whole reason why I'm doing it is because my friend Jarrett Krasaska, who is the author of like Lunch Lady, I think a lot of people probably already know him. He's the author and illustrator of Hey Kiddo, the graphic novel.
Hmm.
Um, and he asked, his wife is a part of the Kitchens program, and he asked me if I would be a part of the local Dancing with the Stars. And at first, I was going to say no because it seems bonkers. Why would I want to be in a dance competition? But it was around the same time when I was talking about how I need to do something, how I need to embrace doing uncomfortable things. And so I said,
Yes.
okay,
It's an
it's
adventure.
it's an adventure. So I said yes. But then it was a big problem because I left for China and like I had no one to pair up with as a dance partner. And so I thought maybe you could do it because you were coming in for the Burl lecture the next day. But then it's very difficult to do rehearsals. And so finally, in the end, I coerced my husband Alex to be my dance partner.
I'm very excited to see you and Alex
And he's been a
dance.
really good sport about it, I have to say. He's been a great sport about it, and we did our first rehearsal, and it was actually really fun. So I hope people come see the our dance, because if they come to the dance, they can stay overnight and then see your lecture the next day. So.
Yes, the Burl lecture is on the 18th at 1 p.m., free
Mhm.
with museum entry.
Yes, and my dance is on the 17th. In the evening, it's a dinner. Like the tickets are a little expensive, but it includes dinner, great entertainment, and it's all for a good cause.
Yes, Stephen and I will be there. Um,
Yay!
Yay. I have to say though, like I'm glad I booked my Amtrak because the direct Amtrak was sold out already.
Really?
So we could have been there. Now we're getting in at like 5, so we have to go straight from there too. But should be
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting.
Yes.
Yay.
So I hope lots of people come. All
Me
right.
too. So today's episode is inspired by one of our listeners, author Andrea Zimmerman. She and I actually, she had won an Ask Me Anything session with me,
Nice.
and then like we were emailing, and she said, "Heck, I'm a loyal listener to BFF,"
Aw.
and she
What
said,
books has she done?
she's done some picture books. I know she did 3 or 4 books with Christy Ottaviano a while
Oh.
ago.
So it looks like she is the author of picture books such as Train Man and Plumber Pearl and um, Trashy Town. Oh, I know Trashy Town. That's a great book. Oh,
Yay!
awesome.
Yeah, so thanks for this idea, Andrea. We actually thought because next week, or I guess this week by the time this episode comes out, it would have been April Fools. So even though this episode is not coming out on April Fools, it's April Fool's week. So we thought this was kind of fitting, but it was also a fun idea. So basically, her idea is Book Friends Forever, Freaky Friday edition. As in the Freaky Friday movies, imagine if you two magically switched bodies and therefore switched jobs. So, Andrea provided some questions, so I thought we'd just use her questions. So the first one is, what kind of editor, coworker, and employee would Grace be?
I think that's hilarious. I would be a terribly awkward coworker, but I think if I was there for as long as you have been, I think like just after being there for so long, I think it would be fine. But like I think for the first couple years, I'd be so awkward.
I mean, you did work in an office, right? You're an
Yes.
intern at Houghton, was it?
Yes, I was an
Yeah.
intern at Houghton and I used to like come in with like my hair sticking up. Like it was like I was not very good at that disciplined like 9 to 5 kind of thing. Um, so I think that I would find that very, very difficult to be on someone else's schedule. I think now that you have remote work, I think I would excel at that because I feel like as long as like I feel like I'm in control of my own like schedule, like I feel like I can do it. But if I feel like I have to be there at like nine
Right.
to five,
But when I work from home those days, I'm still at my desk 9 to 5, basically.
yes, but it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're still kind of doing your own stuff in your I don't know. Maybe it's
Right.
just
I mean, you could, go to the kitchen and get,
yes.
I don't know. So yeah, it is. It's a little more relaxed, I guess. But there are still meetings during
That's
the
true.
work
Yeah,
the
maybe that would
days.
be the hardest thing for me is all the meetings. I think I would find
Hmm.
that really difficult. I think I think in the beginning I might find it kind of novel and kind of enjoy it, but then considering how many meetings we did, I think I would like kind of start tuning out and being not very good. And I think I would be, in terms of an editor, I think I would be a pretty good editor for like big picture things, like I'd have like I think like I have a good idea. We should do this. We should do that. But I also think that would be dangerous. I think I would be like one of those editors that would have like these ideas that could either be really brilliant or crash and burn and lose the company a lot of money. So I think I would either be really successful or like out of a job really fast. But I think so. I think in terms of like the big picture ideas, I might there's a possibility I might be good at that, but I'd be a terrible editor when it came to like getting someone's story.
Mm.
And this is why I don't like to teach. I've gotten so many offers to teach writing, and I'm always turn it down because I'm a terrible writing teacher. Either I'm like, oh, it's perfect. This I wouldn't change a word, or I take it over and I rewrite the whole thing myself. Like I'm
Mm.
not a good person of just like, how do you think you should? I found this part, like I'm not
Yeah.
good at like letting somebody else find their way. I kind of like want to like either take over or just be like, perfect, it's good just the way it is.
But how
So
are you in your reading, your critique groups, or is that not the kind of
that's not the kind of
feedback you give each other?
feedback we
Okay.
give. When we do, most of the time we just gossip.
Okay, that's
But
fun.
when we're not gossiping, it's mainly like, does this hang together?
Hmm.
Like it's more like, does this hang together? What part uh didn't make sense to you? What like, and that's different than like the real kind of like nitty-gritty of
Hmm.
things that an editor does. It's more like a very general reading because there's only so much that we only like read when we do read. We only like read like one or two pages. Like, and that's not a real edit. That's just a
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like this section is bothering me and I don't know if it makes sense. Tell me, like so.
What kind of manager do you think you would be?
I think I would be a terrible I think I could manage my own stuff pretty well. But I don't think I think I would be a terrible manager with other people. I'd either be it's the same thing with the editor, right? I'd either be really, really bossy and be like, I need this, like I want everything like my
Mhm.
way, or I'd be
Yeah.
like, do whatever you want.
You'd probably find your balance
Well,
eventually,
I
maybe.
think after years and years, like I probably would, but the thing is, like, would I get years and years?
Right. Yes, I mean, I guess if we literally did switch bodies, then
Yes.
maybe it would be a disaster on both for both of us.
So, how
Um,
about you? What kind of writer, artist, and promoter would you be?
I mean, I, I, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to. I think definitely not the artist part. At least not, like I feel like, oh, if we actually had to switch places, I think I'd probably have to go to art school or like really study that. And same with the writing. I think I'd have to like take courses or just really have, like months to years of honing my craft.
What kind of
Um,
I'm trying to think about what kind of books I could see you writing. Like, I definitely see you writing more like contemporary fiction, like I kind of see you
yeah.
writing more like the Judy Blume kind of books or like like the Beverly Cleary books for the younger set. Like I don't really see you writing like the Narnia books. Like
Right. I think I would love to try to do fantasy, but I probably am more suited for contemporary. I think I would do young adult. I know you
uh-huh,
wouldn't, but I do love young adult. I could see try like I would love to write a YA like thriller
uh-huh.
or a serial killer book, but I don't know if I could. But in terms of my interests of what I would want to do. Like I'm reading a
Gosh, that
book.
would change my brand so much.
I know. I'm reading a book right now called, it's an adult book, obviously, I think when you hear the title, called Tra Everyone in the Group Chat Dies. And it's a kind of a thriller mystery. And I could see myself trying to write adult as well. Um, Promoter, that would be hard. I mean, I do social media, but we talked about maybe this is the year or with my new imprint, I try to be on camera more,
hmm
which I'm really uncomfortable with, but I feel like I could get used to it.
Yeah. I think we could
Yeah.
do it. I think you should. I think it would be great. You could do a
Yeah.
little YouTube channel where I think if it's not about you so much and just you talking about the books, I think you would find that
Yeah, be a
that
little more.
awkwardness would go away.
Yeah. I mean, I guess with practice. And I guess I would do school visits, which I did try one and it was exhausting, but I feel like I could do it. I just would have to get my, I don't know, just I get my stamina up. But yeah. Okay. So describe your strengths and weaknesses that would make you good or not so good at doing the other person's job.
I think we kind of already covered that, but I think for me, I'm just not good at managing other people or other people's time. Like I said, I think I would be okay with my own stuff. But I think other people, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, do your thing.
I mean, maybe, I
And
think
I
there's
think it would
some
really
managers
bother me
who,
to like I know you
yeah,
have to do work evaluations and stuff like that.
like
Uh
performance reviews and
yeah,
yeah.
performance reviews. I think I would have a really hard time with that. I'm like, you're doing great.
Yeah, and I think for me, I would have a lot of trouble, I think, not having the structure of the workday because I know, like, for me on weekends, for example, or if if I'm trying to like motivate to do something else, I'm very good at procrastinating and I feel like I would have to, I mean, maybe I would just have to instill okay, I'm just going to work 9 to 5 on my writing and illustrating because I do think it would be hard to kind of balance the work and the play.
Yeah.
Um, I do think strengths, I think all the public speaking you do, I think I could probably get used to that and do that well. So I guess that's the strength
I think
part.
that another strength is that you are so I don't know how to put it. Like one thing that the personality trait that you have that most authors don't have is you're not neurotic. Like you won't
Mm,
like, and I think that's if I could bottle that, if authors could bottle that, like it would like make our lives so much better. Like that kind of like intense sensitivity. I feel like you don't have that,
yeah. Yeah.
um,
Maybe
which
that's
is a
true.
real strength.
I think you have so many ideas. I know we're supposed to do an episode on how you come up with ideas, but I think you have so many ideas that would benefit you as an editor. Like, for example, you could come up with a lot of IP ideas
Yeah.
and find authors or illustrators to
Yeah,
execute those ideas.
I feel like that would be my one strength as an editor. I'd be like, it would be good if we did this, if we did this, if we did this. But like I said, it would also be, my strength could be my weakness, and it could be the thing that makes everything crash and burn.
I mean, I feel like in publishing it is a 50-50. It's like
Yeah.
approximately 50% of our books are profitable. So I feel like if you could just keep 50%, you'd be okay. Um, all right. What talents might each of you discover you have when put into the other person's life?
Oh, well, I think we just covered that too. Like, I think,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What would be the greatest challenges?
oh, for me would definitely be all the social life that you have. It's like being able to talk to so many people all the
Right.
time.
I mean, there are a lot of editors who are introverts. Um, but it is, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I feel like introverted editors bring different strengths to their jobs. And so you would just be a very different kind of editor, I think.
Yeah, but I think that like um, you know, there are days that I can go I could probably go a week, probably a month without seeing anybody, and it probably wouldn't bother me too much. Like, like as long as I could email someone, as long as I see Alex or Hazel like once in a while, like it really wouldn't bother me too much. Uh, so
Right. And I
but
think I'm the opposite. I
yeah,
definitely would. I mean, I think if I were writing a writer full time, I would have to be the type that would
like right in
say,
a cafe or something
yeah,
like
like
that.
co-write with friends, say, hey,
Yeah.
let's meet here. Or I know Holly Black and Cassandra Clare do that together.
Yeah.
I think I would have to do that and make it a little bit social.
Yeah, see, and
sometimes.
whereas, yeah, and we're like talking to people every day and doing things like I would be so exhausted. I would never be able to write. Well, not that, but I would be you, so I wouldn't have to write. But
You'd never be able to edit
I'd
it.
never be able to edit because I'd be like so frazzled after talking to so many people. I'd be like, I just need to be alone.
Yeah,
And then I wouldn't edit at home at all. So,
yeah. Um, how would each of you adapt to living where the other one lives?
oh yeah. Well, I mean, in some ways I think I would love to live in New York. But I don't think I could I would love to visit New York, but I don't think I definitely couldn't live there long term. There's just too much stuff going on, which is like it's strength, right? Like I would love to
Yeah,
be there for like a month, maybe 2 months, and take my time to see all the things instead of just like rushing around. But then after that, I think I would need to go someplace like quiet. Even when I go to New York now, like I could do things during the day, but then at night I just need to be like all by myself, alone, like
yeah.
talking to no one, like
I think if you could live maybe on the Upper East Side near the river where it's a little bit quieter, and then you could maybe walk to work through Central
yeah.
Park. Like when I first moved to New York, I love
Uh-huh.
that. I would walk to work, walk to Central Park, because I do think like if you had the commute would probably be tough for you
Yeah.
too.
Yes, I would not like that. Oh yeah. I don't like commutes. Yes, that would be really, really hard.
At least you wouldn't have to drive everywhere though.
That's true. That's true.
Um, yeah, I think for me, I would miss the things that I know you miss, which is the food,
Yeah.
especially the Asian food, but all
Yeah.
kinds of food.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I would miss, I mean, I love Northampton. I think it is a pretty walkable town
Yeah.
as
But it's
the
not, it
towns
doesn't have the
go.
energy. I think it's for me, like that's perfect because I need that kind of like quiet. For you, it's kind of like the opposite. Like you probably would like it for maybe a month, like it's a nice kind of retreat, but after a
Yeah.
while you'd be like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there maybe is not enough going on, but I don't know. Would you compare Northampton to when you lived in Davis Square or Porter Square in
The
Boston?
truth is, there's much more going on in Porter Square and Davis Square. But I never really took advantage of it because of the kind of person I was, which is why we left. Because it's like, why are we
Mhm.
paying all this money to live in Boston when we don't do any of the things that the
Yeah.
advantages of living in a city? Because all I wanted to do was like hole up and be
Yeah.
alone. Um, so, so I feel like there is a lot more going on in Boston and in where we used to live, but and in Somerville. But like I said, I never took advantage of it. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, well, maybe you already answered this, but how would Grace find working in a big company office environment?
yeah, too many people, and I think I would find the corporate life really really hard.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think maybe especially since now we are open plan too.
Yeah, that would
So
bug me a lot. The open plan thing, I think that would bother me. Like I'm like, I just need to close the door.
yes, you'd have to escape to conference room or a phone
Yeah,
booth
and
or
I think that would
something.
bother me too, because then I would feel like there's no space of my own,
Hmm.
um, and I think that would really bug me. So
What would you wear to work?
I know. Well, that would be exciting though, because I would have like, oh, I
Your
get to,
outfits.
I'd have a place, I'd have a reason to get dressed in the morning, so that would be interesting. That'd probably be the funnest part for me. I was like, ooh, I can wear clothes. That's
Um,
like when I agree to do events just because I'm like, oh wait, I could wear a new dress to that.
yeah, I mean, it is kind of fun to think
Yeah.
about what I don't know, but I do like my work from home days where
Yeah.
I'm wearing sweatpants on the bottom.
Well, it says, well, how would Alvina find working at in a home and family environment?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think, as I said, I think it would be hard not to have that structure, but I could maybe adapt. I do think, Stephen you know, is kind of a similar house husband to Alex in that
Yeah.
sense. So, I think having Stephen here to take care of, the cooking and
Yeah.
like
All the domestic stuff.
that would be familiar. Yeah, I mean, having a house would be nice, I guess. I love your studio. I think I would enjoy working in your studio.
Yeah, and I think that the trickiest thing, well, I'm doing the other thing. Now I'm thinking about you if you were like having my life like at your place. Like I think the trickiest thing would be with Stephen being the house husband would just be for him to figure out like he already does, but like since you're not working all the time was for him to it's like trying to find a way to be in the same house and be able to
Mhm.
ignore each other is like
Right.
and yet not be insulted when you're ignoring each other all day is like a fine-tuned
Yeah.
fine-tuned
Yeah.
tuned dance.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I guess we do that on I mean, Wednesdays and Fridays a
Yeah.
bit. But yes, if it was every day, that would be. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess we did that during the pandemic, though, a little
Hmm.
bit. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. Um, what, oh, did we already do this? What talents might each of you discover you have when put into the other person's life? Oh, yeah, we already
Hmm.
answered these.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe a question would be, okay, what kind of book would I acquire? And we talked a little bit
Mm,
about what kind of book you would write. Um, so let's see. What kind of book would I acquire? I was thinking about how when I was in Taiwan and my niece was showing me this like alien cat and she's like, this is the big thing here. It's like this alien cat. And I was like, I've never seen this weird alien cat before. I'd be like, we must do a book about this alien cat. Like I would probably do something really weird. And like that might be like really, really popular, or it'd be like, what is this alien cat? So like so I think that's what I would probably try to do.
that's fun. And yeah, I think I would want to write, maybe I'd want to write like a Watership Down type of book.
Hmm.
Not sure what kind of animal. Or like a young adult that had to do with reality television.
Oh, interesting.
Bring
Maybe
my
it's more
interests into
like
it.
maybe the question is, what would your mission statement be if you were a writer?
Mm,
Like, what's like, what would mo if I was an editor? Would it be like, I want to push the boundaries? Do I want to bring more diversity? You know, do I want to bring
mm,
more equality to the publishing field? Gosh, I mean, I think for a long time it was diversity, but now I kind of feel like with everything happening in the world, it's just like I just want to make sure that books survive.
yeah. Well, I've been thinking about the mission. Well, maybe I won't talk about it too much, but I am thinking about the mission statement for my new imprint,
Hmm.
which we can talk about later.
Yes, we
But
will.
yeah, but as a writer, I think I would just want to, I mean, maybe similar to what I am acquiring though. I want it, it's a mix of really fun, entertaining books and maybe more serious, quote unquote, important books,
Hmm.
Like I think I would want maybe to try to do the same thing of fun and important but still fun.
I guess the difference between an author and an editor is like the editor is kind of like, yes, I want to make a whole bunch of different books that are this, but when you're an author, it's a much more like I need to write a book. I want a book that will be timeless. I want a book that will, like so it's kind of a little bit more of a specific mission statement, like so like what would be the book that you would feel like you had to write, like and that
Mhm.
would be I think that's the question you would have to ask yourself if
I
you were
think
the
it
author.
also depends on how prolific you are as a
Yeah. Do you
writer,
think
how
you would be
fast you
prolific?
are.
Do you think you'd be a prolific
Oh
author?
gosh, I don't know. Having never finished a book, then probably not. But it would be
But you'd have a
fun.
lot more time.
I don't know. It would be fun to be, like I mean, I don't know, like maybe like E. Lockhart, Emily Jenkins,
Hmm.
where I mean, I don't actually know how prolific she is, but I think it would be fun to write in all the different
Yeah.
categories, age categories, including adults.
Uh-huh.
And it would be fun to be able to write quickly and publish a lot of books because then it's less precious, a little bit
Yeah,
less precious.
that's true.
Like you can just be like, this is my fun, silly book about,
Yeah.
I don't know.
About ducks. And this is
Yeah.
my serious book about death.
Yes. Grief and yes. Anyway, next. Anyway, well, that was fun. Who knows? Maybe
Hmm.
maybe we've already switched and our
Yes.
listeners don't even know it. Okay, so for our fortune cookie segment, which is just to explain it again, is just kind of a bonus shorter segment that we do. There was some unfortunate and sad news in publishing. I think maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, where Penguin Random House announced that Dial Books for Young Readers, which is an imprint of Penguin Young Readers, has been closed, and it resulted in the layoff. I heard of four of the editors at Dial, and then they also announced that there was an editor at Kokila that was also laid off, and two editors from Viking laid off. So four,
So
five,
four, five, six,
seven.
seven altogether.
Seven editors at Penguin. There are some remaining editors from Dial that are moving over to the Putnam imprint, which is Dial was already under one kind of publisher who was overseeing both imprints. Um, and I just found this really, really sad because Dial has been around since 1961. I think that's
Yeah.
65 years. And I've just admired so many of their books. They've just been known for, I guess, just speaking about the books that are both like important and entertaining.
Hmm.
They've done so many award winners, but they also did Dragon Loves Tacos and The Book with No Pictures.
Yeah.
But also published Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, and Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears. And they did
Yeah.
Richard Peck's books, A Year
So
Down Yonder.
why do you think they decide to shutter Dial? It seems like it was a re it doesn't seem like it was a non-profitable imprint, like
Well, I think it probably was not profitable recently.
okay.
Although I would think that the
Well, they had
backlist,
Dragon Loves Tacos. That's profitable for a
yeah,
decade now.
I know, and it's been on the bestseller list forever. But I don't know, I don't know the
Ins and
the
outs.
financials of their whole list. They publish
Uh-huh.
65 books a year. I don't know how many were profitable. I don't know how much profit the backlist brought in. But yeah, it is hard. To me, it's hard to believe it wasn't profitable.
Yeah.
I don't, so the different theories I've heard is just in general that Penguin had too many imprints.
Mm.
And, they did close the Razorbill imprint maybe 3 years ago or so. Um, but they've also started some new imprints. So maybe but I've seen other people also wonder why they closed Dial because they could have just made it a smaller boutique
Yeah.
imprint, like maybe they just would publish 30 books a
Like,
year.
yeah.
Yeah, I found it really sad that they would completely close it and fold it into another imprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many you probably don't know, but like how many imprints do you think Penguin has now, approximately?
I don't know because they do have some small, like, so I know Laurie Hornick had been the publisher of Dial, and then
Mhm.
I don't know, a few years ago, she started her own like boutique imprint,
Mhm.
Rocky Pond Books. So that
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
imprint still exists. Putnam, Kokila,
Oh yeah.
Viking. I think Flamingo is the new one there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know how many, but it's.
I'm kind of surprised that they closed Dial and n not one of the newer ones. That it seems like it would make more sense to no
Right, but
offense to
maybe
the
the
newer ones.
newer ones are profitable,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or cheaper to run.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if they're laying off editors at other imprints, then that's maybe a sign that they're
Yeah.
not as profitable or, maybe PRH just needed. I mean, I think every publisher right now we're both looking at cost cutting and, you know, profit increasing
Yeah.
just to keep our keep the corporations
I
going.
know.
I don't know. In
Uh,
this capitalist society, it's hard. It's a tough business. And a lot I did see a lot of people online saying that, I think Dial was known more for their more school and library award-winning. type books. And
Hmm.
I do think that in this current market of book banning and library funding decreased, I do think that probably had an effect on the type of books they were publishing.
Yeah.
But it's
Hmm.
very sad.
It is sad. I know a lot of authors are upset and rightly so. And it's just sad. I mean, I think that I think before this, Laurent Lynn was let go.
Yeah, from Simon and Schuster, and he had been
Yeah,
there a long
a long
time.
time. And I'm just like, whoa, like it's kind of strange to see these people, these imprints that you kind of feel like are like stalwarts or like who would be there forever. And then like, what's going on? So it's just this feeling of rocky foundation that,
Yeah, I think it's unsettling for sure. I think yeah, it's unsettling for everybody. It's definitely,
yeah.
it's unsettling for those of us in publishing because you
So
just never know. You never know.
everybody has to buy books.
Yes. I mean, we're doing everything we can to try to bring, the love of reading back to kids especially.
Yeah.
So, yes, buy
Yes.
books. Buy lots
Buy
of books.
books.
Read. Buy
Please
books
buy
as
books.
gifts.
All right. Well, let's bring it up.
Tell me about. Tell me about.
Okay, well, we haven't done this in a while, but let's do a tell me about section. And the tell me about section is when one of us asks the other to tell a little bit about a one of their books, one that you've edited or one that I've created, usually a little backstory, et cetera, et cetera. So, I know that there's a new book out that you edited, Alvina, called The God of Sleep. So please tell me about that.
Yes. I think it's funny. I don't know if we mentioned this when we talked about the survey results, but I think one person said that they found the intro, which is Hazel singing, "Tell me about," like to be very scary. And then
I thought it was creepy.
someone else said that they really liked it. So
I know.
it's subjective. Um, yes, and I don't know if I have a copy at home. Anyway, so The God of Sleep is by Lev Grossman, who is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Magicians, which was made into a TV show. And this is his debut picture book, and it's illustrated by Huynh Kim Lien. And so I worked with Lev on his two middle grade books,
Uh-huh.
The Silver Arrow and
Oh
The
yeah.
Golden Swift, which are
Uh-huh.
incredible. And I'm actually really sad that they didn't get the love I think that they deserved
Didn't
because
they come out during the pandemic
yeah,
though?
they came out pretty much during the pandemic
Yeah.
but they're so great. So, if
Yeah.
you're listening to this and you want like a classic middle grade children's book,
I
check
wish that
out
there was
Silver
some
Arrow
way
and
you could
Golden
like
Swift.
re-release all the books that came out in the pandemic, like give them like a new like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some of them we can. I don't know. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. But anyway, so he had submitted this. I think he submitted it exclusively to me, just saying, I wrote a picture book, and he did a I think it was 4 questions with PW, where he
Uh-huh.
said that this book came to him in a dream. Actually, he told me this at the time too. So he said, I had a dream when I was reading Where is the Green Sheep by Mem Fox, which I've read many times to my kids. But in the dream, it wasn't about sheep anymore. It was about gods. I woke up and it seemed like a matter of national security that I immediately write it. It even had a line in it. The god of gold is gleaming, which amazingly I cut many times, but it kept worming its way back in. So that one comes straight from my unconscious.
Oh, that's really
So
cool.
yeah, so it's basically about the god of the sun who is, trying to end the day, but the god of sleep is missing. And so the god of the sun is trying to find the god of sleep so that all of the gods could settle down and get some rest. Um, and so it's in rhyming verse, and I am a fan of rhyming verse. It is hard to do it well, which is why I think a lot of editors don't want rhyming text for picture books.
Hmm.
But Lev does it really well. It's really, really charming. I love how he plays with the rhythm in it. It's a really great read aloud. And Lian's art is so charming and funny. And, when I was, sharing the sketches and the art with Lev, he said there's one because he describes at one point pretzel whales. And when he saw the art, he said, I didn't know what a pretzel whale looked like, and now I do, which is really fun. It's kind of a wacky book, I think, but it's
Yeah.
great.
I think it's
So
kind of risky to do a book now called with the word God in it too, which I
right.
think is, but I think it's awesome. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a play on Greek gods, except it's
yes.
like the god of sleep, the god of math, the god of
Yeah.
time, like all of that, which is really fun. But yeah, so the god of sleep is out now. It just came out yesterday, I guess, when we're recording this, but last week when you're listening to this. And yeah, that's it.
I hope people go
So
and see it and buy it.
yes,
Remember,
please
save the
do
book industry.
buy books. And it was an indie next pick by the
Oh,
booksellers, so that was
awesome.
really fun. And I've seen some, the booksellers recommend it. But it's yes, and it leads to repeat readings, so you can read it to your child every night before bed. Okay, so now we'll end as we always do with what we're grateful for. Grace, what are you grateful for?
Let's see. I am grateful for my husband Alex, who is willing to be my dance partner in the local Dancing with the Stars event. We our dance is kind of funny because it starts off kind of as a ballroom dance because the theme of the event is old Hollywood glamour.
Mhm.
But I was like, I don't really want to do a ballroom dance. So I asked them if we could do K-pop dance instead. And they said, okay, well, you could. So it's kind of like it starts off as a ballroom dance and then it turns into a K-pop dance. And it was so sweet because Alex was down for it. He's like, okay. And so like he's like doing the K-pop, like la la la. So it's really cute. So I'm really grateful that he's willing to do it. And also I'm really grateful that on Saturday, I'm going to an event. It's Gun Kwok's Year of the Horse Showcase. Now, Gun Kwok is the first Asian American all women's Chinese lion dance troupe in the United
Hmm.
States. And they're doing a Year of a Horse showcase where they're going to do lion dances, dragon dances. I think they're doing a snake dance and also a horse dance. I heard it's going to be completely awesome. And I'm going to be there signing books. And even better, Hazel's going to be selling Girl Scout cookies
Oh, yay.
because we have so many Girl Scout cookies. Like I've been gone for 3 weeks and they were supposed to like sell cookies, but both Hazel and Alex are a little laissez-faire if I'm not around. And so they maybe sold like a handful of boxes. And I'm like, cookie season ends and we're on the hook for all these cookies if we don't sell them. And they're like, oh, yeah. And so I've been racking my brains to try to figure out ways we could sell it. And so I'm so glad that we have this opportunity on Saturday that hopefully we could sell some of these cookies. If not, then I'm just going to be giving everybody cookies as
Yeah,
gifts, like I do every year. But even more so this year, it looks like, unless we can unload some of these cookies. So I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity, and I really hope that people buy a lot of our cookies. How about
yay.
you?
Um, oh, I forgot. Oh, I guess I did not prepare my grateful for some reason. And there are a lot of different things I'm grateful for, but one thing I'll mention is um I was looking on Reddit and someone had asked like what habit has changed your life? And I realized, and someone said getting their sleep under control, and I
Ah,
realized that is also, I think for me, two habits. One is getting my sleep under control, which I think was is in great in part because of my Aura ring, which I'm showing
uh-huh,
to the camera, because I just feel like it helped me gamify my sleep, but also understand like how much sleep I was getting and the quality of sleep I was getting. And so even though I still have those days where I wake up too early, I force myself to go back to sleep
uh-huh,
rather than just get up so that I'm prioritizing my sleep
uh-huh.
basically. And then the other habit is flossing, which I started flossing maybe at this point, it must have been over 15 years ago. But I
Yeah,
will say that before I started flossing, I was still getting the occasional cavity. And after I started flossing regularly, I have not had any new cavities. So
that's true. Actually, I
changed my
agree.
life. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, now I think about it, same thing. Interesting.
Yeah.
We should do a whole episode about habits that have changed our lives. I
Oh
think that's
yeah,
like
that's a good one. All right. So anyway, I'm grateful for those two habits. And that was the Freaky Friday episode. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to Alex at Paceyworks Studio for editing this podcast. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and tell a friend about it.
And tag us on social media using the hashtag BookFriendsForever, or send us a message via Instagram at BookFriendsForever_podcast, or via our website. Remember, we do have a website, bookfriendsforever.com. And join our Patreon. The link is in the show notes.
I'm Alvina Ling, and you can find me at Alvina Ling on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads.
And I'm Grace Lynn, and you can find me at Pacey Lynn on Instagram and Threads, and author Grace Lynn on Facebook.
Have a great week.
And don't forget to read and buy books.
Buy books.
Bye.